Today, we're going to be talking about how you can set up a client onboarding system, a nice streamlined workflow, and also how you can automate it. Hey, coach, are you doing everything manually in your business? Okay, we're going to stop that today. It's totally fine. Don't feel bad. When you started your business, you were doing everything manually because that's what it took to get your business off the ground. Now that you're actually seeing clients come in, you're at client 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 at this point. You're realizing doing everything manually to get these clients into your coaching zone is a lot. There are a lot of little tasks that go into it. And so you're looking for an actual process or a system to implement to make this easier. So that's what today's video is all about. Let me know in the comments, at what point in your business did you realize, oh, okay, I definitely need to have some sort of system implemented at this point. So giving your clients a VIP experience is why a client onboarding system is so important. You want to make sure that each client goes through the same experience, receives the same documents, and that it's something that's easy for you to actually do. So that way it's easier on you as well as a seamless experience for them. So how do you do that? In this video, I'm going to share 4 steps that you can include in your client onboarding process, plus the tools that you can use to implement each step. The links to all the tools that I'm going to mention in this video can be found in the description below. And if we're meeting for the first time, hi, I'm Sha-day Johnson, the tech strategist and YouTuber for coaches. I focus on showing you how to use the behind the scenes tech in your business so you can create systems and automation that will allow you to sign more clients with ease. Be sure to follow me and subscribe to my channel so that way you don't miss any of my future tech tips. So here are the 4 steps in the client onboarding process. It's important to note here that I'm assuming that you're doing everything manually, but at the end, I'm going to give you a tip on how to automate each step. Plus, I'm also assuming that you are taking your clients through a discovery call, and at this point, they have said yes to actually working with you. So once they say yes, the first step that you're going to do is create an invoice. My favorite tool for invoices is called FreshBooks. It's really easy to use. All you have to do is enter in your client's name, the amount that they owe. You can add your logo, and then it goes ahead and creates a professional branded invoice that you can email over to the client, and it will allow them to pay online with their credit card. The second step in the onboarding process is to create a contract. Now, you should never start work with a client without first the payment, but especially not without a contract. It's really important because it really sets the expectations for both you and your client as far as what you both are expected to do in this business transaction. So it really just creates those boundaries and doesn't leave anything for question because everything is going to be in the contract. A tool that I like to use for contracts is called DocuSign. It allows you to upload your contract and it will email it to both you and your client so you can both sign it virtually, and then you both receive copies of it and you're good to go. Now, if you don't actually have a contract that you're using in your business, I do have some friends over at Coaches & Co, and they provide legal contract templates. So I will go ahead and leave the link in the description for you. So in case you need a template that you can use that's actually been written by a lawyer, then there is the resource for you. The third step in the client onboarding process is to send a welcome email that includes a link to your calendar schedule. So the welcome email does just that. It welcomes them into your world, welcomes them into the package that they've purchased from you, and it also tells them the next steps. So the obvious next step after they've already paid and signed the contract is to go ahead and book their first coaching session with you. So you want to make sure you include a link to your calendar scheduler, and a tool that I really like for setting up your calendar availability is called Calendly, and that is where you're going to be able to connect your calendar to Calendly to say, okay, I'm available Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 to 5 to take coaching calls. So when your client clicks on that link, They'll choose the time that works best for them. It also converts directly to their time zone, so you don't have to worry about being in different time zones and messing up the times that way. And then you also receive a Zoom link, so that way both of you can show up to the same Zoom room once it's time for your meeting. And they also include sending out reminders for the meeting, so it will decrease your no-show rate. The welcome email can also include documents like your client intake form, so that way you have more information about where they are on their journey before you start your coaching session. And the fourth step for the client onboarding process is to add them to your CRM, which is your customer relationship manager. So in the beginning of your business, you might not actually have a tool or software for this, and that's totally fine. You can definitely use an Excel or Google Sheet to just keep a list of your clients and, make notes of if they've paid and any client notes that you have from your coaching sessions. But as you grow in your business, you might want to upgrade and start using a software like Asana, that's one of my favorites, or even Trello, where you'll be able to track where you are, or where you'll be able to track where your clients are along their journey. You may want to eventually take it a step further and actually use a CRM tool. You may have heard of ones like Dubsado, Honeybook, or even Paperbell, which is my favorite. So it's important that you just choose something. Don't get overwhelmed with choosing and figuring out, all the features and pros and cons of all the tools, especially in the very beginning of your coaching business, because it's most important to actually get started and just, start making money in your business. But like I said, once you've gotten to client 5, 10, 15, that's when you can start looking into these tools to be a little more sophisticated and to up-level your business. The point of all this is you basically just don't want to lose track of the clients that you have, or lose track of who owes a payment or who for some reason still hasn't signed a contract. You want to make it as easy as possible for yourself so that you're not so focused on all the back end admin issues and instead can focus on coaching your clients. Now, I mentioned in the beginning that these are all the manual steps that you can take to implement your client onboarding process. And like I said, it's super important to have a process that you can actually follow every single time, so that way you don't miss any steps and everyone receives the same experience. Once you're ready to move on from doing things manually, you can start to automate some of these steps in your client onboarding process. So I'm going to share my favorite tool that you can use to actually automate all 4 steps that I mentioned in this process. And it's really going to help you to streamline your client onboarding process. That tool is called Paperbell. If you've subscribed to my YouTube channel and seen previous videos, you know that is my favorite tool for coaches, and I've even provided some tutorials on it. Paperbell is an all-in-one tool that handles scheduling, payments, and client management for your online coaching business. So when it comes to the client onboarding process and using Paperbell, first you have to create a package. So let's say you're creating a 90-day one-on-one coaching package. You'll create that package in Paperbell. Once your client says yes to buying your, let's say, 90-day package, via your discovery call or via DMs, however you're selling, all you have to do is send them the link to that package that you created in Paperbell, and then it's going to take them through all of those onboarding steps that we talked about. So, for example, you send them the link, they click on it, it prompts them to make a payment with their credit card, and then they sign your contract. And then they are prompted to schedule their first coaching session with you, and they're automatically sent the Zoom link. And then you can even have it automatically send them a intake survey or, client form for you to review before your first coaching session. So that's really cool, right? So instead of you having to do all of those manual steps of creating the invoice and then emailing it and then waiting for that to come back, and then creating the contract, emailing it, and then waiting for that to come back, and then manually sending the welcome email and hoping that they actually make their first, schedule their first session, and then actually having to physically add them to your CRM. Instead of all of that, it's all done with literally one link that you created inside of Paperbell. Because once they've gone through all of that, they are now inside of Paperbell, so inside of your CRM, where you can go in and add any client notes that are private to you, and keep track of all of that directly inside Paperbell. So cool, right? So that is how you can set up a simple client onboarding system, either manually or automated with Paperbell. If you want to go ahead and get started with your free trial of Paperbell, you can click the link in the description box below. And when you use my affiliate link, I give you access to my client onboarding planner for free. The instructions on how to redeem that client onboarding planner are in the description box below. I've also started a Paperbell Facebook group, and I'm super excited about this because it's really a community that is filled with other high vibe coaches just like you who are looking to learn how to streamline and automate their coaching business. So I hope I see you over in the Facebook group so I can get to know you better and help you along your Paperbell journey. Before you leave, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my future tech tips. I'll see you next time. Bye.